Hello everyone, in this video we are going to explain about the parts of a flower, that means the four whorl of a flowers. The first one, that is the collection of sepals, basically called by the name calyx. This is basically the group of the sepals, also called by it the name calyx. These sepals are basically the outer part of the flower that enclose and protect the unopened flower bud. Now if you see here, this is a sepal. If the flower is not beared fully, then these flower petals are inside these sepals, so these flowers are protected from these sepals. So the sepals may be in the shape of free, that is also called by the name of polysepalous, or in the form of fused, that is gamosepalous. Free means the sepals are opened in the form of opened, or fused means the sepals are closed. Now if you see in this flower, the sepals are basically in opened, that means they are called polysepalous. If the sepals of these flower are enclosed and the flower buds in the shape of the flower buds, then this is called by the name of the fused or gamosepalous. Now if you take the example of hibiscus, as I have taken a hibiscus flower, there is a second series of sepals called the episepals. Basically these is the structure of the first sepal, and beyond this there is another series of sepals that is also called by the name of episepals, and this collectively called the apicalyx. Now there are several episepals, so their collections are called apicalyx. Now the term is about the petaloid. When the sepals are brightly colored, that means the flowers bear the sepals in the form of green color. In some plants or in some flowers the sepals are brightly colored, that means they are in different colors. So these terms relate to the petaloids. Petaloids mean the sepals are brightly colored. If you take the example of gulmohar plant, the flower of the gulmohar plant are basically the sepals are in the colored form, they are not basically in the form of green color. Now we are going to talk about the second part, or we can say the second whorl of a parts of a flower, that is the corolla. These corolla are basically the collection of petals, that means the flowering or the attractive part of the flower. These surround the reproductive parts. These petals are basically protect, or we can also say this surround the male reproductive part of the flower, and inside it there is a female reproductive part of the flower. These petals are enclosed by male reproductive part of the flower, that means the stamen, and the female reproductive part of the flower, that is inside in sepals. And it also attract the pollinator, that means it also attract insects to come and sit upon the pollen sac that is present on the base of the anther, and also protect the stamen and the pistil. These petals also protect this stamen and the pistil, that is the female reproductive part of the flower. Now the third one, that is the androecium, that is, if you say, this is a collection of stamen, that is the male part of the flower. These consist of a pollen producing part of a flower, and it also consists of a filament. This is a flower, hibiscus flower. Here is from the base, the origin from the base of the flower. This is a tube like structure. This tube is basically what? These are filaments. There is a group of filaments, and it is basically the another type that is also called by the name of monodelphous. We will study it later. Till then we will understand about the filament. It consists of another supporting anther at the top. These are basically the round like structure, these are basically the anthers. Inside this anther there is a pollen sac. This pollen sac consists pollen grains. Now the types of androecium, or we can also say the types of these filaments. In some flowers the filament are consist of only one type. Matlab, if you see the hibiscus plant, there is one filament present, that means This is called by the name monoadelphous filament. Basically, the stamens are united by their filaments and the anther are free. The filaments are in the form of group and there is only one filament present in the hibiscus plant, and the anthers are free at the top or at the end of the filaments. If you take the example of China rose also, there is stamen is united by the filaments and the stamens are free. The another type of the filaments are also the diadelphous. Diadelphous means the filaments, the name term also denote di means two. The filaments are united in the two bundles. Example, if you take about the pea plant, the flower of the pea basically consists of two filaments. Two filaments means the first one will be more thicker and the second the filaments will be thinner than the first one. The third part known by the name polyadelphous. These polyadelphous are basically the filaments are united in the several groups. There are too many filaments present inside the flower. If you take the example of bombax, this is a type of a grass. This grass bears basically too many filaments. There are several groups of filaments bearing from the flower. This was about the three parts of a flower or also the four whorl of a flower. In the next video we will understand the last whorl of a flower, that is the gynoecium. Till then, thanks for watching.